Alright, what's up boys and girls, this is me, your boy Trapjack, and today's video is the long-awaited Rehab series. I've gotten so many comments here and on my Discord server, join that by the way, so it's finally here. And before I get into today's video, go ahead and follow my Instagram. I also have a Clips channel, I got a TikTok, all of that shit will be in the description. Make sure you guys go follow that shit. And I'm changing the intro up today, so I'm going to be using my homie Andy's music. He runs a place called Snow Studios. Go book a session with him. His Instagram will be in the description and on screen. Go book a session with him. He also makes some pretty good music. This is like his first song that I ever heard, and it was actually pretty fucking good. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Without any further ado, let's get right into it.
Same story, different person. Yeah, DM and finish, but baby, let's chat. Going and finish, man, I'm off the map. Studio 4 AM, but I'm taking naps. Try to start with this shit, hit a victory lap. Suck on my motherfucking wolf for a second, she looking upset. Lot of bitch shit, asshole. Got a Magno apple.
Alright, so this story takes place on the day after Mother's Day, which is also kind of sad, because like my parents low-key woke me up this morning. I got out of the fucking shower. Like I literally just did my fucking normal morning routine. Everything was cool. I got out the shower and everything. I'm putting my socks on my bed, and my parents are like, "Hey, by the way, you're going to rehab today." I'm like, "What?" I was like, "Oh fuck, bro! Like, come on, like save my ass, bro! Like for real." I was pissed. I was like not expecting that shit at all either. Like there was a complete shock to me. I was fucking. It was just weird as shit. I was not expecting that on a fucking Monday morning, bro. So I'm like, well, shit. All right. I need to get a haircut, need to do some other shit, and yeah, that'll probably be good, and I gotta start fucking packing. So my parents go to work and shit, and I'm like, all right, so they're telling me like to pack everything I need, so I'm thinking of like everything, and I'm like thinking about smuggling all my electronics, thinking about taking my trap phone back and putting that bitch in there, thinking of taking my iPod, my headphones, and all my shit. I was literally finna take my laptop, and they were like, no, you're not taking that shit. I was like, fuck. I was just packing everything that I needed, and it for real took a long ass time just to pick out all the fucking clothes I was gonna take there, because I didn't want to take any of my nice designer shit or any of my nice shit, because I didn't want that shit getting taken from me. Like I didn't know what this was gonna be like, because I heard Goblin's Rehab story where he was staying in a room with 4 motherfuckers, and that did not sound appealing to me, because I thought my shit was gonna get snatched, bro. Like shit. So I decided not to bring any nice things. I bring like 5-6 pairs of jeans that I actually do care about, a couple nice shirts, some pajama pants, fucking just the normal shit you'd pack. And I'm thinking of like, okay, this me, right? We're talking about me. What am I gonna sneak into the rehab? I could not call the plug and get a cart. I was trying my hardest to get a yard that day, because my mom had found one in my room like 2 days before. She literally just randomly searched my shit. I guess it's because they were sending me to rehab and didn't want me to go in with some shit. And she used to be a medical investigator, so she knows how to search people's rooms for drugs. And I think I mentioned that in a video in the past, but for all the new viewers, yeah. So basically, she fucking searched my room, found the yard. I was trying to get a new one. I was just fucking searching the house for anything I could find. I literally didn't have any electronics. I had my fucking Xbox and I had Microsoft Edge on that bitch. So I was like looking in every fucking drawer for any kind of medicine or anything I could fucking take with me that would like at least get me fucked up. And as fucking degenerate as it sounds, I was looking at the Dramamine and the Benadryl, and I was like, whoo, that looks actually pretty nice right now. Shit. And I was looking at the fucking DXM pills, and I was like, shit, bro, I could take these motherfuckers with me and get fucked up on DXM. Shit. So I was thinking like, they're gonna notice, they're gonna check the cold medicine, so they're obviously gonna know if I take these DXM pills with me. And I was thinking like, fuck. So I was searching everywhere, like anything that had medicine containers, like the little pill containers. And I finally, like I had looked at it in the past, but I never realized what it was because it's in an abbreviation. But it was a butabidol, which is a barbiturate, and it's in a lot of the migraine medications that are prescription. So my mom has like chronic migraines, and she's tried so many fucking medications, and she obviously didn't try these because I think she knows that they're barbiturates. But it's called butabidol, and it was actually really, really good. You'll see later in the video. So I was like, fucking, oh, I just hit the jackpot, guys. Fuck yeah. Yeah, bro, I was fucking hyped. And I was like, damn, this is like a sign from like the universe. Like I had overlooked this shit for such a long time, and it has been there for like over a year, and I hadn't taken it or looked at it or anything. So I was like, damn, this is like the universe low-key like throw me a bone, twin. So I look it up on my Xbox. Like that's how I figured out what the fuck it was. I was like, butabidol, is it a fucking barbiturate? Because I was seeing mixed information about it actually being a barbiturate or a low-strength barbiturate. But I actually ended up looking it up and reading the AI description of it, and it's actually a pretty high up there, but it's not really as strong as sodium seconol, or they're also known as red devils, which is, us new gens don't know shit about that, because barbiturates have mostly been phased out and replaced by benzodiazepines because they're much safer. Red devils were like actually the worst. I really want to try them. If anybody knows where to get them, maybe don't, I probably shouldn't be saying this here, maybe don't hit me up about it, maybe do, but I really have been trying to find that shit, because I love old medicine, like that's not around, you can't find it. I have a fucking 1987 Viagra. I would never take it, it's just fucking cool to display. It's a brand name Pfizer Viagra, and that shit is so dope. but I would never like. I just like collecting old medicine. You know, I mean, the Red Devils obviously I would take, but you know, getting back to the story, I was fucking hyped that I had found these shits. So I was like looking up on my Xbox about everything, and I go and look up another couple other medications, and I'm just like, shit, okay, well I can't grab the shit that's obvious that I can get high on, so I grab as many out of the fucking bottle as I can take out of the fucking butabidol bottle, and I grab about 20, and it said on Reddit to take like 4 to 5 of them, and it's got caffeine in it, so you want something to counteract the caffeine. So I did grab like 5 or 6 Benadryl. I grabbed fucking, I think it was like 5 or 6 benzoate, which is just a fucking cold cough medicine that could make you drowsy if you take enough of it. So I was like, yeah, that should fucking, this drug cocktail should work. So I grabbed a fuck ton. I brought a bunch of pairs of my underwear that have the little pockets in them. So I just put this shit like in my fucking pants. And my mom came back in like a couple minutes later and was like, okay, it's time to go get a haircut. And if you guys remember and have seen pictures of me, you know I have like long-ish hair, and I had pretty long hair at this point. I hadn't gotten a haircut in a while, so I was like, fuck, okay, I guess I'll get it cut pretty short. And short, this bitch did cut it. I was a little mad. This bitch cut it way too short. She's like, I think you look good. It was this hot ass emo bitch. So I low-key just let her get away with it, but I was pissed. Like when I got out to the car, my mom, she was like, yo, your shit got cut way too short. I was like, yeah, I know. But I had this fucking kava tea at my crib, so when we get back to the crib, I'll talk about that. I was sipping the kava tea the whole way there, but actually I had made a fuck ton of it that morning. And if you don't know what kava is a fucking root that is called nature's Xanax. Also, it's in a lot of, you can buy it at Kroger. Actually, you're supposed to be, you know, over 18 to buy it, but if you're smart, you can order it off Amazon. You can't really buy it because it's at a lot of head shops and gas stations that'll require you to be at least 18 to buy it. But if you know where to look at Kroger in the tea section, you'll be able to find it and make some pretty killer tea out of it. And so that's what I'd been doing the past couple of weeks. Like, you know, it works for the first few times that you take it, but it obviously, you know, you build up a tolerance to it fast. But I was doing like 5 or 6 tea bags of this shit. That's how fucking high my tolerance was. And basically, you mix a little milk with it. You know, I can make a whole video breaking down what is kava if you guys want that shit, because it's, you know, a safe way to get high. Same with valerian root. If you combine it with valerian root, you'll see you get fucked up. I did that shit at my rehab. I got a picture of that shit. I got fucked up. That was a good ass tea. And my roommate tried some of this shit. He's like, yo, this shit good as fuck. I've done kava before and valerian root. They're both called nature's Xanax because they act on your GABA receptors. But getting back to the video, I'm just fucking sipping on this kava tea. I'm like high on the kava, but it just pretty much relaxes you. And I couldn't really feel like any of my anxiety about going to the rehab at all. So I'm chilling at home. Like we just got home. I was showing them all the shit that I packed. She was checking my bag, and I'm glad like she hadn't like gone in her room yet, because I really wanted to take those DXM pills. I was low key gonna try that shit because I did grab I grabbed the last Dramamine and all the Benadryls that were left. So I was like, shit, there's really like not much else except that DXM, because I checked a couple other places, and I found a tramadol bottle that I had actually replaced with allergy medicine because I had took it in like 10th grade, which I still need to make that video. I mentioned it in the hydros video that I was going to make it because I did it the day before I tried hydros. And yeah, I just forgot to make that shit. So comment down below if you want to see that shit. So the time comes for me to actually like start going to the fucking rehab. So we get in the car and we're looking at the fucking GPS and like everybody in the car, because we're going to go eat dinner too. And we start driving up there, and it's going to take like an hour and 35 minutes somewhere around there to get there. And it starts taking us back roads and like not on the fucking highway where it should have taken us, probably because there was traffic or some shit. But we took the back roads through a couple other towns that neighbor it. And we fucking stop at this Aegean place, and it wasn't Aegean, but it was some sort of Mediterranean food, and it was fucking amazing. I was sitting there eating it, and I had really wished I had already popped the barbiturates, because that would make this experience so much better. But we eat at this place and everything. They give us like free shit because like we're the only people in there, and I guess they don't get much business. And the fucking food was great. I'd definitely go back there again. But we get back in the car, and it's like another 45 minutes to get to the fucking place. And so we drive there and we roll up at the place and shit. I'm like starting to get a little nervous. And I bring my bag in, and they're telling me like how it's going to work. So basically we stay at apartments. Like we're going to stay at, there's a bunch of different apartment complexes, and we have drivers that drive us to the fucking center every morning where we would actually like get rehabilitated or whatever the fuck. And so like they were explaining that shit to me, and I was like catching the drift and everything. I'm picking up what they're putting down, and we meet up with this fucking Australian guy that like does my intake. I'm not gonna say his name but he's chill as fuck. Like he was asking me like all the shit that I've done, and I low-key had to admit in front of my parents that I've done cocaine and like every other drug, because they're like, be honest, we're gonna drug test you. And I'm like, fuck bro, I think coke's probably still gonna be in my system, so they're gonna get mad if I lie about this shit. So I low-key fucking start naming off the shit that I've done. And I fucking get to like benzodiazepines. He's like, you ever use that shit? I'm like, yeah, I've done a lot of Xanax. And my mom pipes in and goes like, oh yeah, I found cyclobenzapine in his room, fucking muscle relaxers. And I'm like, okay mom, chill. Like damn, you don't need to tell him everything. And she's like, no, he has a right to know. He needs to know what you're going through. I'm like, all right, whatever. And he fucking finishes taking out all my information. And my parent, he's like, does he have groceries? He's staying at the apartment, and he needs groceries because there's not fucking free food here. And they're like, okay, well, we'll go get him some groceries. So they're like, all right, they go to Kroger and they leave. And he fucking finally, like, the intake guy, he was chill as fuck. He goes and he pulls out like a vape and his in can and shit. And he fucking starts hitting that bitch in the room. And I was like getting antsy because I didn't have a vape because my mom fucking low-key had found that shit. And I didn't want to sneak anything in there because I thought, like, no, I thought they were going to metal detect me and search me when I got there and everything. And we weren't allowed to have nicotine. But turns out we're allowed to have nicotine at the fucking rehab, which is actually chill as shit. So he rips his nick and shit. And I'm like, yo, low-key, like, can you, like, let me hit your vape? Can I, or you, like, leave in the bathroom? He's like, yeah, I'll, like, leave in the bathroom for you or some shit. And, like, you can hit it and we'll do it covertly. I'm like, all right, thank you, bro. Like, appreciate it. He's like, yeah, bro, I got you. Like, we all need one vice at least, bro. And that reminds me, bro, time to tap the Geek Bar. Let me know what you're smoking on down below in the comments. I always like hearing about the different carts in different areas. So, like, just let me know what you smoking. I'm hitting my Geek Bar and my fucking Whole Melt V5. All right, fucking, yeah, let me know what you're smoking on down in the comments. Back to the video. So he lets me hit his vape and shit when we go up to the bathroom. I come back down there and shit. My parents came back, and my little brother walks in the room, and he goes, it smells like fucking cinnamon rolls in here. And the guy was hitting the tiramisu Kato bar, so it smelled fucking sweet. And my mom, like, looked at him and shit, and he had a Raz sticker on his computer. So my mom has found so many Raz bars in my room, she knows what Raz is. And she just looks at him and looks at me and, like, just gives me a look like, oh, you better not be hitting a motherfucker's vape. Like, you better not have asked him, you better not have said shit. And I was just pissed at my little brother. I laughed, but, you know, my mom definitely knew what was up. And they fucking finished doing my intake and shit, and I leave to go to the bathroom. And when I'm in the bathroom, I'm like, all right, now's the opportunity to go take these fucking pills. And so I pop 4 of the butabidol, and I take 3 benzoate-8s and 2 Benadryl. And I'm like, this should fuck me up. 4 of them, at least. That's other 50 milligram a piece. That's 200. So I would fucking wash that shit down with the sink water and fucking go back down there. And I'm sitting in the fucking intake room. My parents answer all these stupid-ass questions and shit and sign a bunch of these release forms and everything about me being a minor, because I'm the only minor that's there as a guy. So as you'll see, I'm mostly with, like, grown-ass men, which is, you know, it's pretty cool. And my parents are like, all right, okay, they finish signing the forms and everything. We go back upstairs, and I'm looking at the groceries they bought, and they actually got, like, some pretty good shit, but I was surprised. And they got me, like, a lot of shit to cook, so I was pretty happy. And then they fucking told me goodbye and shit, and they got in the truck and left. And fucking I look at the intake guy, and he's like, don't worry, bro, you'll be all right. And fucking I go smack his vape one more time, and we get back down in the room and shit. He's like, yeah, I just need you to answer, like, a couple more questions, and then I gotta fill out some shit by myself. And I answer these questions, and then I go, there's like a workout room at the fucking center. So I go and work out and shit, and I'm like just lifting weights and shit, and it starts kicking in. It starts feeling like fucking Xanax. Like, I'm like starting to get fucking high. And I'm like, all right, like, yippee, bro, this is actually going to be awesome, bro. Because this is like, you know, I was doing kava earlier, but this is like real shit, bro. I was fucked up. Like, I was like high as shit. And I'm lifting weights, and like, I'm lifting easy shit. I'm like 1 plate on each side, you know, just the easy light shit. And I'm just hitting that shit. And he's like, yo, bro, I need you for a second. I'm like, all right. And like, I fucking put the weight back down, and I'm like, oh fuck, bro, I'm like fucked up. I stand up, and that bitch hits me like hard as shit. So now I'm like walking through his fucking office, which is like, you know, like a good 200 feet away, through like a hallway and some other shit, and I'm fucked up. I slam into the fucking hallway, and he's like, be careful, bro. I was like, sorry, I'm just nervous. And I sit in the room, and I'm like relaxed, and he's like, yo, bro, I got this one vape right here. I don't like the flavor on it. And it was like sour watermelon berry. And I'm like, I already know I'm not gonna like the flavor on that, but like, you know, it's got games on it and shit. And he's like, bro, I'll sell that bitch to you for $10. So I pull my wallet out, pull out a 10, and hand that bitch to him, and he sells me a fucking vape, bro. On my night in, I was high as shit. He fucking sells me a vape, bro. That shit was crazy. Grown-ass man selling a vape to a minor, bro. Anyway, that shit was dope. Like, I really did, I fucked with him. Like, that really did make me fuck with him. And he was wearing, like, Volcom shit and, like, skate clothes. And he's like, yeah, I used to be a surfer. I'm like, oh, I got a bunch of vintage surfwear at the house. Like, a bunch of Quicksilver, a bunch of O'Neal, some fucking bunch of other shit. He's like, yeah, this is dope as fuck, bro. Awesome. And I had brought a couple of shit, so he actually like complimented a bunch of my fucking outfits, bro, because it's the same shit he used to wear back in the day. And he was like telling me all these stories and shit as I'm sitting in his office about like going to high school parties and bringing kegs and how shit isn't like, you know, it's not the same. He's like, your parents seem really strict. I'm like, they are. Like, they would be so fucking mad now that they know that you can have phones here after after 15 days and a vape. They're gonna be fucking pissed. So I'm just chilling in the office and shit. He's like, all right, I'm done with you. The driver will be here in a few minutes. And then another guy rolls up, and they started doing the intake for him and shit. And I'm talking to him, like they're like helping him with his bags. And now I have to wait on fucking the intake guy to finish his ass. And he ended up leaving like a couple days later. Actually, I saw him for like a week or two, and then he just fucking like he did AMA, which is against medical advice, and left, which I wish I had done many times. But the only reason I'm mentioning this shit is because he's not a very important character in the story. Like I only talked to his ass like 10 times, but you know, I'm fucking talking to him. He's like, bro, you got a vape? I'm like, bro, I just bought this shit ass one. He's like, bro, I got this one. It's got like he pulls out like a 40K Kato, and that bitch is burnt to all hell, bro. I'm like, no, I'm not hitting that motherfucker. Like I watch him hit it, I see his facial reaction. I'm like, I already know that bitch is burnt. And he's like, yeah, bro, it's bad. I'm like, yeah, bro, I don't want to hit that shit. No, thank you. And they fucking do his intake. And I'm like, mind you, I'm high as fuck. Like, I'm sitting there, like, I'm not nodding off, but I'm just like, I'd feel really, really good. I'd feel amazing, bro. And I ended up, like, bringing a fuck ton. So I was, like, happy. I was like, yo, I got, like, enough shit for, like, 5 days, bro. This shit gonna be awesome. So I'm fucking sitting there. They finish his intake, and the fucking van driver that lives at my apartment complex comes and picks us up, and we load up all our shit. I'm loading up all my groceries, and it takes up a fuck ton of shit. And I'm sitting way in the back with him, and he's like hitting his vape covertly, and I'm hitting my vape covertly because I didn't know if we could hit that bitch in the van. And the van driver did see my ass. He low-key like told me like before I left, he's like, bro, the first night you came and like you were in the car, you were trying to hit your vape fucking discreetly, and I saw your ass. I was like, for real? I was like, that was before I knew we could vape in the van. He's like, nah, bro, I just thought that shit was funny. And so I'm talking to him. He's like fucked up. He's like a old man, bro. Like no offense to him. Like Josh was a cool ass guy. I'm just gonna say his name because fuck it. And he, you know, he's a dope ass guy. He's fucking probably in his 50s or 60s, but you know, big drug addict for a long time. He's sober now. And we're just riding, and we get to the first motherfucker's apartment complex. It's different than mine. You know, he gets out, I help him with his bag and shit, take it to the door, get back in the van, I sit in the front seat, and fucking Josh is coming out, and he goes, there's a thief in my van, there's a thief, and he's just, you know, fucking with me, and I didn't realize that, bro. I was like, low-key, bro, I was like pissed off. I was like, that shit low-key kind of like lit my fuse a little bit, bro. I was a little pissed. I was like, fuck you, bro, fuck you. And he's like, thief. He was screaming that shit as loud as he could just to fuck with me. And we get back in the van, and he's like, bro, I'm on Seroquel right now. And you're not supposed to drive on this shit. It fucks you up, bro. I'm like Seroquel drunk. And that's a term I'd heard many times from other people. And I was like, okay, so I need to get myself prescribed Seroquel. And I was asking him what it does and shit so I can, script seek for it. And he was low-key listing off shit that I need it for. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to get this shit, no problem. And he's like, yeah, I shouldn't be driving on this shit. I'm fucked up. And like, he's driving. He was a great driver, but he would drive fast as shit. So we'd be going like 70 and a 50 just casually. And we're speeding. Because he's like, yo, I want to go home and go back to fucking sleep. They woke me up out of my fucking nap, bro. Like out of my Seroquel sleep, bro. I'm fucked up. Like I really don't want to do this shit. I'm like, sorry, bro. That sucks ass. And I'm hitting my vape and shit because he's hitting his. And he low-key lets me hit mine. And I hit his. Or he low-key lets me hit his, and he hits mine. He's like, bro, this shit tastes like garbage. I'm like, bro, it's brand new, but it's got games on it, so I'm just gonna keep it for the games. He's like, yeah, smart man. And he starts playing the game while he's fucking driving. And we get to our apartment complex, and we're chilling in the fucking driveway for a minute. He's playing the game, bro. He's playing Tetris. And he gets done, and he's like, you need help taking that shit to your room? He's like, you're right above me in 1011. Or you're like down the hall a little bit, but you're one story above me. It won't be hard. I'm like, yeah, just a couple of the groceries. So I get my main bag, which is heavy as fuck. And I get like as many grocery bags as I can carry. And we make it in one trip. And like he lets me in the apartment. I meet fucking everybody. Like I meet the houseman first. And he fucking goes back down there. I say goodnight to his ass. I'm like, thanks for driving me, man. He's like, yeah, I got you. And I go back inside. And like I'm looking at everybody when I go back in. Like I talk to the houseman for a bit. He's like a younger guy. He seems chill as fuck. And I get in there like I'm high. Like I think he knows that I'm high. Because most people do come in on their intake night high. Which actually, before I forget this, we did have to take a drug test at the end of the night. Before we even got in the van, and I did not test positive for barbiturate, so I was kind of worried, like, oh fuck, like if I do test positive, if they randomly test me and they see that I'm positive, I'm fucked, because I didn't come in testing for it. But I obviously failed for MDMA, fentanyl, and weed, which, obviously I didn't mean to fucking do fentanyl. Like, I'll make a video about that shit, because it was a crazy ass story time. I just remembered that shit. I did fucking do fentanyl on accident, which, it wasn't a high dose or anything, but it fucking just crazy, bro. I never expected to do fent, bro, but yeah, I'm laughing at that shit, but it's like a serious issue, bro. Fuck. All right, so yeah, he was like, damn, bro, you did fentanyl? And I'm like, no, I think it was a fake perk 10. I took a little bit back. And he's like, oh, I got you. I didn't test positive for cocaine, though. I was fucking surprised. Or Xanax, which I'd literally done Xanax a couple days before. But, anyway, I guess my fucking body gets that shit out of me fast, which is, a good thing. And, okay, so back to getting to the apartment. I go in, and everybody gets up and shake my hand. I'm, like, introducing myself. And they got this one motherfucker called Cowboy. And, I bonded with him. He low-key, like, we have the same initials, but different names. Like, his last name's different. His first name's different. But his first name is J, and his last name is R. Like, he has the initials JR, just like me. And I come in wearing a Covey Rise hat. And he looks at it and he goes, bro, I have a plantation next to Covey Rise, bro. My plantation's better. If you don't know what Covey Rise is, it's a fucking bird hunting plantation. It's awesome. You know, not sponsored, not shouting him out or anything, but I just was wearing that hat. And I'm talking to this motherfucker, and he's just like telling me some shit. And then I'm talking to another motherfucker, and most of the people had gone to bed because it was like 12:30 at night when I got there. Because I literally got to the rehab place at 7:30 and popped that shit about like 9:30, 10, and now it was like, you know, just hitting 12:30, like around there, and it was late as shit. But people that were still up watching TV, I was talking to them, and they're like, yeah, most of everybody's gone to bed or is in their room already. I'm like, all right. So I met one motherfucker that was, you know, on the couch watching the TV show, met Cowboy, and pretty much everybody else was sleeping, and they're showing me where my room's at, and I walk in and I see my roommate, and I'm just going to go ahead and say his name. His name's Eric. He's a cool ass motherfucker. He was on box, so, you know, he wasn't going to get into any hijinks with us because he didn't want to, you know, fuck up his house arrest and his other shit, which I don't understand how his house arrest worked. I guess they just wanted to track his location or whatever. But he's on the phone talking to a shorty, and like he gets up and greets me and shit, and I start setting all my shit down and unpacking everything. And once he hangs up the phone, like we're like talking to each other and shit, and he's like, bro, you look fucked up. And like we low-key became like really good friends and shit. He's probably watching this video because I show him my YouTube videos, and he was like there when I was making them. So shout out Eric. He's a cool ass guy. And I just don't know what made me feel so comfortable with him. It's probably because he was the second youngest guy in there. He was 22. And I'm fucking showing him the shit that I brought in. He was like, bro, you look fucked up. I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm high as fuck. And I showed him the shit that I brought in. He's like, bro, you badass little kid, bro. He fucking told the girl he was on the phone with and everything. He thought that shit was hilarious. And I'm sitting on the bed talking to his ass, and he started telling me like a cool, crazy ass story. Because I told him about my YouTube channel, and he's like, you want to hear a crazy story? I'm like, fuck yeah. Because he was actually banging, bro. Like, he was a cool-ass motherfucker. Telling me a crazy story about why he actually is here. Because he was asking me, everybody asked me my DOC, which is drug of choice. And I was like, everything, bro. Everything under the sun. And people were asking me, like, you done cocaine? I'm like, yeah. Because when they heard that I'm 17, they're like, bro, you shouldn't be here, bro. This is a fucking, like, grown motherfucker rehab. And everybody was just surprised to hear my age. He's like, bro, I was talking to my roommate Eric and shit, and he's like, bro, you're the youngest motherfucker in here, bro. Like, everybody gonna be watching you and shit. I'm like, nah, they won't. Like, I'll act good for a few days, and they won't. I'll throw the shade off me. And he's like, all right, bro. And so I'm getting all my shit situated, like I'm getting ready to go to bed, and I'm high. I go in the bathroom, I hit my vape like 3-4 times, and I'm just getting used to my surroundings, getting a good bearing. And I take all my groceries and shit because I had fucking forgot and left them on the counter, and it had been like 20 minutes at this point. And my high ass is fucking putting everything where it goes, and I fucking messed up a bunch of the orderization of the fridge. I was like, yeah, I'll fucking fix it tomorrow, guys. They're like, all right, whatever. And I put all my shit in the pantry, and they clear out a space for me. Like, they walked over and helped me put all the shit in there, and they were like, bro, you fucked up? I'm like, yeah. Like, he's like, yeah, it's okay. Everybody comes in fucked up. I smoked a big ass shard of meth before I came in here. One of the motherfuckers told me that shit. And then Cowboy's like, yeah, bro, I smoked a fat ass blunt before I came in here, man. I was like, hell yeah. He's like, yeah, bro, we all do it. And he's like, yeah. He's like, all right, little buddy, good night. Because I was like fucking going to my room and shit. And I slept horribly the first night, but I fell in between the wall and the bed, bro. I literally fucking rolled over too fast. And that'll be in the next video, because I'm going to stop the video right here because, you know, that's the end of my intake. And, you know, I'll go over day 1 at the rehab in the next video. I can't believe you guys fucking stayed till the end. You know, this is a good-ass video, bro. I really enjoyed making this shit. I'm a little fried right now. I'm kind of just rambling. But this isn't really even that long of a video. I think part 2 might be a little longer. I'm going to try to recall, like, all the details and shit. Like, I got to tell the story to people before I tell it to y'all. So I usually do that shit on call with my homies. But, yeah, I'm going to have to do part 2. Part 2, I don't even know when that shit's going to drop. Expect it to drop either later this week or sometime next week, because I'm going to make a different video in between each rehab series. It's not going to be rehab back to back to back unless you guys want that shit. So comment down below if you stayed this far. Comment something heinous if you stayed this far into the video, just to let me know you guys stayed this far and shit. And let me know if you really want the rehab part 2 series earlier, and I can do that for y'all. I am gonna make a different video next, but I will do the rehab part 2 after that. And then let me know if you guys want this shit like all the fucking time. Like, I will tell every story I have in rehab while they're fresh in my mind and I remember all the details, because I low-key got up to some crazy ass shit. I won't even spoil it for y'all. But, peace out. It's the end of the fucking video. Hope you guys enjoyed this shit, and, stay tuned for the next one. See ya.